I call my homeschool program Family First for a lot of different reasons. The main reason is because I did recognize that for a while when I first had my children, I worked. I worked all the time. I worked to provide for them. I worked to pay the bills, to make sure they had food, to make sure they had clothes, to make sure, we had a car to ride around in. I worked to just, be a parent. And I just thought, I go to work, do the things that I have to do, send them to school. They come home, sit with them, do their homework, read to them, talk to them about different things, whatever. I just, I guess had the outer shell of what parenting is about. And it took me a minute. It took me a while to recognize that, for my children, I would have to do more. And I would have to adjust the way that I thought about things and really pay attention to who they are. And based off of who they are, formulate how I'm going to be a parent for them. And saying family first kind of reminds me of that. It reminds me that it's not all about paying the bills and, just doing all of the, of course it's important. Don't get it twisted. It's very important, but it's not the most important things. And I think I needed to just recognize that. And once I did, and then applied it to different areas of all of our lives, everything just kind of came together. So family first means so much when I say that. It puts things into perspective as far as me educating my children. And it makes me recognize it's not about how they're doing in comparison to other people. And it's not about how other people have learned and what's been successful for them. It's really all about paying attention to my family, putting them first, and then designing a curriculum and a program that goes best with them. And that took a lot of pressure and weight off of my shoulders. It just relieved me of a lot of anxiety and stress that I was feeling concerning their education. And it just freed us. And so I love to say that. I love to say, family first. That is our program name. And that's the foundation that I build on, when I'm thinking of their yearly plan. And that's really how I think of it. I think of them as a whole individual. When we're starting another year, I'm thinking of the milestones. I'm thinking of where they're at. I'm thinking of where I was at that time and the things that were on my mind and how I interacted socially. I'm just thinking about all of those things when I'm designing their plan for the year. I know we may say, especially if you have kids with learning disabilities, you're used to the term IEP. But I kind of took that format and expanded it. And one thing I do like about an IEP is that you have those set goals in different areas, and you get to break down how you're going to reach those goals. So I did start off with that type of format, but I definitely expanded it to other areas of their life outside of just education, because everything flows together in my opinion. And it's not it's just good to have that set way of teaching your children and knowing how your children learn best, and then applying it everywhere. So it's not like, oh, this big switch to we're going to sit down and learn now. It's more like we're getting ready to talk about this like we talk about everything else. We're getting ready to break this down and digest this and dive into this topic, regardless of it's regarding our walk with God, or it's regarding our social and interactions with our peers, or relationships, because I have 2 teenagers, 18 and one about to be 16. So our conversations and our discussions and our lessons extend beyond education, the typical education thing. When we deal with health and physical fitness, I go into so many different areas because I want them to have an understanding of how that affects their life personally, how knowing different things about their health really pinpoints who they are. And I look at their father, myself, our history, and all of that goes into the lesson and the planning and the teaching. And homeschooling gives you that opportunity to really dig deep. It's not just about teaching them what's expected of them for school. That defeats the whole purpose, in my opinion. This has given me an opportunity to go deeper and to go far beyond 45 minutes of a teaching lesson that you learn about a person or something that you're never going to deal with any time for your life. It gives me the opportunity to really look at my children and know them in only the way that a mom or a dad or a parent or a caregiver that's spending intimate time with that child know. And I get to apply all of that knowledge to how they're learning. That's what makes homeschooling special. And it can be a little scary, because for me, spending so much time outside of the house with them going to school, me going to work, only getting a small amount of time with them, I recognized I missed so much. I missed so much. I wanted to share the story of how I learned my son had autism.